you suck, you're disgusting, and I wish nothing but the worst that could ever happen to a person on you.
The thing is like, we don't live our lives by logic.
I can't. It's such a joke.
There was no logic to this.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Feelings took over.
Ooh, oh my gosh. Welcome to DBL. Let's jump right in because that was the climax of the final episode of the Vanderpump Rules reunion. For those who may not know, Tori, the main topic of the reunion has been about Scandival. Tom Sandoval cheated on his now ex-girlfriend, Ariana, with her former best friend, Raquel/Rachel. So last night, Raquel finally faced the cast, and Ariana did not hold back. Raquel apologized for betraying her and said she's finally seen the consequences for her actions. Ariana then went off on Raquel, calling her the lowest of the low. Now, after the reunion, Raquel came clean in a huge bombshell interview and said that Tom Sandoval told her to lie about their affair timeline. So really quickly, during the reunion, they tried to make it look like it was this one-time thing. Then we see Raquel come clean, saying, no, it was all the time. In the house where Ariana was, in the hotel room when they were all in Mexico, during when Ariana's at a funeral.
Her grandmama.
Her grandmama, after her dog died. All the time.
In their hot tub at her house.
Yeah.
This is her best friend, by the way.
Here's been my theory all along, child, because Ariana was
Isn't it Ariana? Why do you keep saying
Ariana,
I
used to say Ariana, but
she's not a Little Mermaid.
I've been saying
Ariana.
they call her Ariana. It's
Ariana, whatever her name is. Winner is what her name should be.
Yes. Yeah,
because
right.
I'm telling you, that night that she picked up Tom's phone and looked at it and saw the videos
What
of
video?
Rachel and Tom on FaceTime doing things
Intimate
that adults
He kept
do. Video on FaceTime. I was like, that was nothing but her grandmama. Her grandmama's spirit was like, girl, you better look at that phone.
She's right.
Yep.
She's right.
I have a question.
You won? You have one question?
I just have one question. Why is it like he told her?
Right.
And it makes it seem like
she doesn't have agency.
doesn't have her own agency.
She doesn't. And believe me, I'm all about female empowerment. Raquel is young, and I'm not giving her any excuses, but she's finding her voice. She's very easily manipulated. She's very insecure. I've dealt with insecurity in my life. You're very prone to having narcissistic people kind of puppeteer you, and that's exactly what happened with Tom and Raquel.
Okay, remember that when we talk about the Wednesday Addams story.
Well, okay, we'll get to let's stay in this one, because also what Sam is trying to diplomatically say is that something's not snapping in the child's head. It really isn't. It's not. I'm not even trying.
No, that's a perfect way to say it.
I'm not trying to
snapping in the closet.
No,
in her head.
Something isn't clicking.
Speak into the cake drawer.
Something's not clicking. So that's really what it is. There might be some things that we don't feel comfortable necessarily talking about in that. She's also in her toxic cycle, and that's why Lala said she wouldn't trust her around her man, because you know, yes, when people are in their toxic cycle, and we have all been,
doctors have studied the toxic cycle.
Every single one of us, everybody here has been in a toxic cycle where something has happened and it's been a life-changing event, and it changes who you are, and for a little period of time, you start acting a little funny.
You're right.
And everybody's looking at you a little funny because you know that you're not right, and they know that you're not right, and you know that they know that you ain't right.
Sleeping with someone in a hot tub is a life-changing event.
Dude, it was her best friend.
It wasn't that.
Are you kidding me, Albert? Her best friend.
I think she just figured out who she is.
No.
Oh, you're talking about Raquel.
Jeff,
Yeah.
I have to hear from Jeff.
I would never do that to Jeff. That's the homie. If you're a real friend, where your real friends at? These people are not friends. That's not your friend. She just illuminated the fact that they're not friends. She just helped her out. She did her a favor.
I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying. But this situation was a little bit different because there was an age dynamic and a star dynamic.
What do you mean age?
Yes, he's right.
What do you mean age?
Who's
what do you think
older?
I mean by
I've
age?
never seen this show.
Well, one guy has a mustache and another girl looks like
Mario. I don't know who's older.
He's older.
Okay, fine. Sorry.
There's an age dynamic.
Talk about that.
Definitely. And there's a star. I know you want to get in on this. We're having parties without you, and that's the way it is.
Okay, continue.
No, but so there's definitely a star dynamic because she was nothing last year and she kind of wanted to make a name for herself, climb the ladder in some sort of way. Tom's one of the stars on the show. He saw an opening to take advantage of her. She saw an opening to climb the social ladder on the show, and she definitely took advantage. She was buying the same necklace as he was wearing on the show, like open signs that she really didn't care. She was not her friend, even though she said she was her best friend. And literally, I want Dr. Drew to break them down because they're both like sociopaths. Something's wrong when you look, like between the breaks, they're kind of laughing and there's no remorse, there's no crying. It's really something psychological going on.
All right, exhale, guys. Whew. Now, you did bring up Jenna Ortega. We're going to jump to it. It's not in the prompter, so I'm going to arrange my notes because we want to respond to you.
Okay. I like it.
I liked your little dance.
Yesterday, we talked about the backlash of Katherine Heigl, which she faced after openly criticizing the writers of Grey's Anatomy. But now we are seeing an example of a star being promoted to producer after making suggestions about scripts. In Variety's Actors on Actors, Jenna Ortega talked to Elle Fanning about becoming a producer on season 2 of Netflix's show Wednesday. This comes after she openly criticized the writing on the show. They were also both involved with a Hollywood Reporter roundtable discussion, and Jenna dove deeper into the topic. Here's what she had to say.
I think when I went into Wednesday, I really put my foot down and made it clear that everything that I had to say, I wanted to make sure that it was that it mattered and was heard. And it really, I think, as the show went on, we all got a better feel for one another, and it's become a really collaborative experience. And I feel really lucky to be able to join the next season and be in the room early and be, talking about scripts and giving notes.
Okay, I hear you, Tori. Similar scenarios, different outcomes between Katherine Heigl and Jenna Ortega.
Let's call out the elephant in the room. She is 20 years old and sounds a little bit entitled. Okay?
Yeah.
Let's just call that what it is. When I saw that, that looked a little annoying. And you're allowed to be annoying at 20 years old. I don't like her wording. In Armchair Expert, she said, I don't think I've ever had to put my foot down more in a set. Everything that Wednesday does, it did not make sense for her character at all. Don't throw your writers under the bus. So I get it if you want to be part of a collaborative experience, but don't do that with that language.
Maybe do it with different language, but privately.
Look at Tori's coffee stain notes.
I will say this. I also, it's just super. I mean, think about it. If, like, anybody here thought that they could give Sharon up their notes or Joel.
It's rude, and you're 20 years old.
Or 20 years old. Right. I mean, honestly, there are people in this room that were doing this when I was still a comic. I don't know how to run the show or run the lights or what an executive producer. Like, it's so disrespectful to a lifetime of work and sacrifice and working long hours to get to the point where you can say I'm the head writer of the show, and a 20-year-old rolls into the room and says I'm about to put my foot down.
Yeah.
Word.
Right.
Well. Okay.
Where do they do that?
And that's, that's fair.
Where's that?
However, I think that you're also missing a piece of this equation because you said these people in the room who we all acknowledge and respect because of their skill set, and we understand their contribution to this production. But you weren't asked to change the lighting. You weren't asked to do what Sharon does. You weren't asked to do all of those things. You were asked to be the comedian / former teacher / father, all of the things that you bring to the table. And as a result, we all together in a collaborative effort can say, if I'm noticing, hey, I don't know if anybody noticed this today, but there's a black mark from the lighting or whatever. I'm not telling the lighting person they don't know what they're doing. What I'm saying is I'm noticing there's something different, which means that I am just as invested in making everyone else shine as they are of making me shine.
That's somebody's job. That's called the script supervisor.
Yes, but everyone plays a part in that. And I think that we all, as an ensemble cast with a large production, can understand that there has to be, there is nuance to those conversations. There's the ability for someone to come in and be like, hey, I know that I'm representing a however old Wednesday Addams might be. And also, Jenna Ortega is a young woman of color. When has that been something that she can sit down and confidently say, hey, this is how I'm feeling?
And I agree that don't say they didn't make any sense for her character.
Not everybody is going to say things as eloquently as we do.
Right.
Okay?
Right.
But I'm
this
saying.
is the second time.
Yeah, it seems to double down a little.
I'm simply saying that there is a part of each point that makes sense. I understand what you said, but I do understand that it's important for her to have a voice as well.
And there's also women of color that are writers.
Yeah.
I'm fine with that. Hundreds of scripts. get in that room. But like to just think that you can roll into a writer's room and throw some notes around, it's like rolling into an NFL locker room and saying, run this.
And then get a producer credit?
But we don't know if that's really what happened.
She said it like it came. The way she said it was
Agreed. The way it was stated,
the language
made me cringe. I'm a big fan of Jenna Ortega and that series. I love that series.
This isn't personal. We're just talking.
I do know how much she poured her heart and soul into that role, though.
Clearly.
She's the one that came up with the dance moves on that iconic dance that went viral. She's the one that tweaked little sayings that would make Wednesday Addams a little bit more edgy and in tune to the demographic that they were gearing towards. She was written a lot older. She really did put her foot down to say, this is not going to attract my demo. And since I'm playing this character, I really think you need to skew it this way, and that way. I hope it's more collaborative than what she stated, but we just don't know all the details.
Well said. But you are saying she brought value to the production.
And
apparently she did, because now she's a producer.
Yeah, because she has leverage.
Right. That's how that works.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean it's best for the show.
That's how that works. We're just not used to seeing young women of color getting that.